What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me. Welcome to another Work Wednesdays. My name is Graylan Stewart. This is my vlog day. If you're new to my channel, thanks for being here. I am a virtual wholesaler. We wholesale houses nationwide. We buy and hold houses for long-term wealth, and I fix and flip houses for the bigger paydays. So, anyways, I'm just going through my day and getting started. So, one thing in my system that I have, I use Podio for my CRM, me and my team, and we pretty much use that on a day-to-day basis, all day, every day. Everybody in the company has their own workspace, for their particular job title or duties, I guess. But I also have several others built out for my properties as well. So I've got one for rentals that I just added probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, but I hadn't really done a whole lot with it yet. So I'm trying to catch up and build out more automations and things like that in it. So it's kind of cool that all of my leads now, for any vacancies that I have, basically, I've got properties out there that we're selling on rent to own because that's my strategy as far as my properties that I own, because I don't want to be a landlord. So I sell everything on rent to own, but I've got land that I sell like that. I've got, houses, I've got buildings and things like that. So, but it's kind of cool that I built this automation out in my Podio system in my rental workspace to where all the leads come into that now, just like I do for acquisitions, but now I have that for my rental space. So it shows all the properties that I have currently vacant that are available. But the easiest thing is, when people fill out a form, it's not an application, but it's just a questionnaire kind of form. It goes directly into this rental workspace now, so it's easier to manage all those leads. So I'm excited about that. Just to have it all in one spot, I can see that, based on the form that they filled out, how they got to us, like the lead source, which is always important. So it's important to know where you spend your money, but then their name, obviously, what type of property they're looking for. Sometimes they're applying for specific properties, which is also nice. It'll tell you that exact property that they're interested in. But not only that, it'll tell you like how much their income is, because that's one of the questions that we ask. And then what kind of down payment they can give, because we typically want 10% down on our properties. And, we want them to make at least the very minimum 2.5 times the rent. So if the rent is 1,000, they got to at least make $2,500 per month to even qualify. But we want it to be more. That's kind of a low end. So 3 times the rent is kind of ideal. 4 times is even better. And if they make more than that, sweet. But rent to own is kind of my strategy. A lot of the reasons is because we provide housing for people that typically can't ever get a house because they can't qualify for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have credit because they use cash for everything. That could be one reason. Or maybe they have really bad credit because they made mistakes in their life previously. So we give them a second chance as long as there's no evictions and things like that. But some people make bad choices on cars, or maybe it was just medical bills, things like that. Or a lot of times they can't qualify for a regular loan because of their income. And that doesn't mean they don't make enough income, just their W-2s and 1099s, whatever they have, their taxes don't show that they make a lot of income. For example, there's a lot of business owners out there that do trades, contractors, painters, roofers, HVAC guys, plumbers, things like that, that a lot of times they make a lot of money, but they have so many write-offs, and as a business owner, you have those benefits to write things off. The taxes don't always show that they make a lot of money because they write off so much. Therefore, a lot of times they can't qualify for loans. So that's where companies like me, individuals like me, come into play, to where we actually offer them housing and carry the note for them. So basically, I become the bank on the properties that I have. So obviously, we want to vet these people to make sure we have the right people, because the last thing we want is to move somebody in and then they never pay you. And that's happened to me before, and it sucks really bad. So, obviously, vetting people, putting them through the process, that's why I have a bunch of different steps they have to take for me to even talk to them. I just feel like that's important. I have everybody fill out a questionnaire. If they're not even willing to fill it out, I don't talk to them at all. I straight up refer them to that form first. If they fill that out, at least that gives them a guideline of what to expect. And it also gives me an idea of, are they even a good fit before we even have a conversation. So if they pass that and they actually do that, then we will chat via text or phone call shortly after that. And then I just weed people out, because you get a ton of people that want to do this. They want home ownership and they can't get it the traditional route. So they end up reaching out to people like me. Like there's one house I have in Oklahoma City. I'm selling it for $125,000 on rent to own. And I'm all in on this house. I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. I'm all in on this house for like $45,000. That's one of the few houses that actually have a loan on. There's no reason to not. And I can actually leverage that even more if I wanted to, because the house is probably worth about $125,000. So that's why I'm selling it for $125,000. It's retail. So I could probably get a loan for that, around $100,000 or $90,000, somewhere in that ballpark. But I don't want it. I don't want the loan to be more. Yeah, I could pocket tax-free money. That's an extra probably $50,000 I could put in my pocket tax-free because it's in a loan. But I don't need the cash, so therefore I just rather keep it like it is. Nevertheless, that $125,000 house, I usually require 10% down, so that's $12,500 down. And then the cash flow on that, when I'm doing a mortgage, obviously my payment on it with taxes, insurance, and everything is right around $550 per month. When I was renting this before, I was renting it out for like $900 a month. But now on rent to own, it's a mortgage with 12% interest over 15 to 30 years. They get to choose. So it'll be more like $1,250 to $1,450, depending on how long they want it. But this gives them home ownership, gives me more cash flow. I make more in the long run, but it gives them the opportunity to get into the house instead of throwing their money away on rent. They can actually own something if they stay there. But most people move every 5 to 7 years, and this probably is the same scenario. A lot of these people will just straight walk away if they ask you to, and I allow them to, because I can just sell this again on rent to own later if I want to. But for the ones that actually want to stay and truly pay that off, great. Stay there for 15 years or whatever, however long they decide to do the mortgage, because then they get a house, and then I made a ton of money along the way. So I love that whole model. So that's how I do that. But anyways, I'm excited that I actually have that workspace built out in my Podio now. So as I've said in many other videos, I'm well over $25,000 into this system now. It's probably encroaching closer to $30,000 at this point, because I just keep building out different workspaces. And then it's not just about having the workspace, but then you got to build automations and more efficiencies within the workspace that you have. So that's kind of what I've been doing, lately. Something else exciting. I've got a house I'm closing on. Here's the documents, which is kind of cool. Once you have relationships with people, they trust you more. The title company they just mail me, or they email me the documents now. All I have to do is sign them, and I FedEx it back. They pay for the FedEx even. So that's pretty cool. I'm buying another house in Oklahoma. And I haven't decided if I'll flip it or keep it. Just depends on after I remodel it, because that's the whole point. You remodel every house that you buy, whether you keep it or flip it. You always remodel up front. That way, if you are going to be a landlord or rent to own, the property is already in good shape because you've already done the work. And then if you flip it, obviously it's already done, and you can sell it for retail to a conventional buyer, FHA buyer, VA loan, whatever. So anyways, it's kind of cool that they just email me the documents, because a lot of this has to be like wet ink. It can't be DocuSigned. Some things can, but some documents have to be real ink and notarizing and everything else. And, they'll just notarize it for me because I've done so many deals with them. So that's kind of cool. All I can do is I've already signed them all, and I just got to take it to FedEx, and we close tomorrow. So I'll own one more property there, and we've already got the rehab already lined out too. My contractor, we've already done a contract stating everything that's going to be fixed, everything that's going to be changed. We both signed it. It's got expectations as far as deadline. It's a 7-week project for X amount of dollars. So we agreed on that amount for that amount of time. And then if it goes over that time, it's a $50 reduction every single day. Some contractors don't think that's fair, but I actually think that's more than fair because the property holding cost costs me probably more than that in most cases. So, I don't believe in me being the only person that loses. If the time period goes longer than they expected, I think we should both take a little bit of a hit. If it's going to cost me more money because of the time constraints, it's going to cost you more money too. So that's how I do that. So that's kind of cool. We're closing on that tomorrow and starting the remodel. So 7-week project. It should be done by the end of March, so it'll hit the MLS. Hopefully the goal is April 1st, if everything goes well. So anyways, another exciting thing that we are working on, one of my acquisition managers is about to lock up this deal in a smaller town. It's a motel, but they've already converted like 4 of the rooms into efficiency apartments. There's 20 units plus the living quarters of where the owner lived, which they basically took like 5 or 6 units and made it into one big house kind of behind the office. So I'll probably convert that back into the units so I can have like 26 units. But anyways, I'm thinking about buying that myself, just to add those 25, 26 doors. And we're buying it for crazy, stupid, cheap price. And, it doesn't take a whole lot. If you think about a hotel room, it's got a huge, usually a little sink area separate from the bathroom, the traditional motels, which this place does. It's got a closet. So all we really have to do is add like a cooktop, maybe an electric stovetop that has like 2 burners, in the counter on the right side. And then you've got a kitchenette. All they need to buy is like a little mini fridge or, 3/4 fridge or whatever they're called. So then we actually have, actual apartments. It's just efficiency apartments because usually, and I've already seen the pictures, these rooms are big enough for a bed. It's got a desk, the dressers and things like that. It's got a tub and bathroom separate from the huge sink area. Like on the right of the sink is where we can either cut it off and add a small stove or just put a drop in there for, they have those little countertop stoves that they usually have 2 or 4 burner ones, and they just plug in. So they're super easy. That's probably what we'll do. And then there's a space on the right that they can put like a little, mini fridge, just like it's not a mini fridge, but it's a little bit bigger. Like we have one in our, at the wine bar in the basement. It's a wine fridge, but it's basically that size. So, it meets people's needs is the point, affordable housing, so people can afford to live somewhere. But we're getting that deal like $125,000. That's like I don't even know the math, $5,000 a door, which is unheard of. And then, they don't need a ton of work. There's some holes in the walls, so some patchwork to be done, and this little stove insert, costs and little things here and there. But overall, I think I can do the whole project for probably $30,000. Maybe a little bit more because we'll put fresh paint everywhere. It already has good flooring. Some of the units might need new flooring, so it might end up being 30 to 50. But nevertheless, to be all in at 175 and have 25 more doors, it's crazy, y'all. That's where it's at. That's what's going to build the long-term wealth. So, anyways, I'm excited about that too. Hopefully, she'll get the deal. We're supposed to find out today if she's going to lock that up or not. They've already agreed to the 125, but they have somebody else that wants to come look. So we're trying to get that inked before the other investor even gets out there. So I'm even willing to give him like 130. Like we'll give you 5,000 more to sign today, as opposed to waiting for tomorrow for this other guy to look at it. So that's probably what we'll do. I gave her that authority to go ahead and do that. So anyways, and the smart thing to do is use other people's money to close on it. So that's what I'll do. I've got the cash to do it, but why use your own cash? Using your cash for anything, in my opinion, is stupid. I know people that buy houses, cars. I'm talking about their personal house and cars. I buy investment houses with cash on occasion, but only when I have to, when it's got to close quick. But I always get the money back because I refi out, or when I flip it, I get it back. but it's still stupid. Even that, it's better to get private money or to get hard money, even because it's worth it to keep your cash, in the bank, or you might need it for whatever else if you got to move quick on something. But other people's money is always better, in my opinion. So that's what I'll try to do. But anybody would loan me $125,000 for 25 units, $5,000 a unit or less. It's probably less. I don't even know the math on it, but that's a safe bet. Your money is super safe when you do that. So anyways, enough rambling on. I'm excited about my new rental workspace. I'm finally building it out a little bit and closing on a property tomorrow. So I'm mailing these docs back to title, and then potentially getting that cool motel, converting it into apartments. So anyways, hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Look into all the other videos on my channel if you're really interested in learning how to wholesale real estate, because that's what the majority of my videos are. So you can definitely change your life through real estate, and wholesaling is just kind of that entry to real estate to where you can do it for no money, no risk, not a ton of knowledge. It's something that you can do quickly and start snowballing into mountains of cash where you can do other things in real estate with that cash. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.